This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Wednesday evening. This is our first necklace night of 2023. How exciting is this? My name is Jackie Miller, and I am here to share a little bit about Park Lane with you. Um, what I like to do is I'm going to keep myself on track because I love to chat and love to talk with my hands, and I normally will do that and keep going. But I'm going to focus on the three P's that we like to refer to, and they are the people, the product, and the programs of Park Lane. But just to give you a little background, I have been with Park Lane for just about 2 years. Actually, I guess December was my 2 year anniversary. However, I'm not new to the direct sales industry. Prior to that, I was with another jewelry company, which unfortunately closed very suddenly, and it was very sad for me. A lot of the girls on my team, same thing. They were involved with their other jewelry company. Didn't expect to be able to jump right in and go with Park Lane, but my friend Jen started, and I'm like, well, she always the one who checks things out, so trust her. I'm going to give it a whirl. And that's kind of how I always looked at things: is what is the worst thing that could happen? So fast forward 2 years, been with Park Lane this long, love it. And yeah, I think just in general. So prior to that, or even including this, I worked Park Lane part-time. There's a lot of girls on our Team Sparkle, that work it full time. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have, I'm a controller, I'm a CPA, and I do this part time. There's women that do both, which I love, and that's the flexibility of the things that so many of us do love about it, is we can really make it our own. And I choose to do, maybe a couple shows, maybe a month, but it really depends on your own schedule. There's no quotas, which I think is one of the things that I love about it the most, because I have a very busy life. Work, family, kids, like to do different things. So I love that I can do it when I want, and however I want. And when I say however I want, I do a combination. Well, I'll talk about that in just a minute. And that's one thing I love, is that we can do it a couple different ways. So one of the things I just want to talk about are the people of Park Lane. One thing that amazed me is Park Lane has been in business for over 67 years. So that tells me is, okay, they are not a little startup company. They've been through all sorts of wars and recessions, and let's face it, a pandemic recently. So they've been through a lot, and they are continuing to soar. They're a family-owned company. They actually Arthur and Shirley Levine. I think Shirley was in her late teens when they started this company, which just amazes me. And they wanted to empower women, excuse me, I'm going to cough. Empower women, help them financially. And to me, that's just amazing to be able to start a business and keep it going that long at that age. They are still a family-owned business. Their children are now running it. And the other thing I think that was so impressive is when they started this, they only took a 2% margin back to them, and the rest they reinvested into the company, which I think when you hear about the programs, you're going to understand that a little bit better as far as how they are able to do that. So again, from my accounting background, I'm like, 2%, you don't really hear about that. So that's pretty amazing. So if you have any questions, here in the chat, feel free to put them in. I will take a look at them. But I am going to kind of go a little bit quicker because I have some people jumping on soon. So as far as the people of Park Lane, the other thing that to me was huge, let's face it, 2020 was a tough year for a lot of people, for a lot of different businesses. But it amazed me when we got to the end, when I got started in 21, that 2020 was their best year. I'm thinking, how can that be? But they were so smart. They, the magic word you hear everything about is the word pivot, but that's what they did. They took their leadership, went out into the field, trained people how to do, the Facebook Lives, whatever it is. That became more of how we have to do our business now, because there was tons of women who this was their full-time income. So they couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to stop now because we're in this pandemic. They went out, they supported their teams, and they taught, women how to, market online, do the Facebook, do the Zoom, however people were able to do it during those times. Now, I will say it's probably a mixture. I started doing more shows in person. I know there's girls on our team that sell over $120,000 worth of jewelry, and they never leave their house. It amazes me that they're able to do that much online. Some of them have, little kids, they're homeschooling, whatever it is. Some people are doing a hybrid type show, or, hybrid where they're doing some at home, some not. So it really does, it really depends. And again, that flexibility is the other thing that we love. So that's just a little bit about the people of Park Lane. Now, as far as the product, well, let's face it, it's jewelry. It's an easy sell. I always say you don't have to be, it's going to sound funny to say like super smart, but you know what? How many times do you say, oh, isn't this pretty? If you can say, isn't this pretty? Oh, don't you love these earrings? You're good. You're ahead of the game. You don't have to learn all the ins and outs. But what I love is, I mean, as far as the product, it's also a visual product. So you get to wear, I always tell people when I was in high school, I used to work at McDonald's, and I used to have to wear this lime green uniform. And I thought, if I can do this, I can make my uniform a necklace and an earrings. So I can do that. So, you get to wear your product. It's tax deduction. Gotta love that, especially some girls that were jumping on the end of 22, they got that tax deduction for the year. But all of your samples you purchase, all of those great things, my beautiful earrings, I get to write those off on my taxes. Gotta love that. But as far as the product, I say we have a little something for everybody. Whether you are that classic person, that trendy, I want to be in with all the big statement necklaces, you like delicates, we have all that. And that's the other thing I think I really loved, was that it's a wide variety of styles. We have your designer inspired pieces. Now, I say I was never a huge jewelry person when I started, but I love to sell it for some of those reasons I was just telling you about. And I know there's some ladies who are just shocked when they see our pieces and be, that is the, well, there's the Tiffany, the Cartier, whatever it might be, David Yurman, we have those pieces, but again, at a fraction of the cost. So I love that we have those designer inspired pieces. We also have a great guarantee on our jewelry. If you would, basically, if something happens, you have 4 months to send it back to Park Lane. And what I love is it doesn't really matter what happens to it. It could be run over by your car, your dog. I've had this, grab it off your neck. And then really all you have to do is send all those little pieces back to Park Lane. And for the first 4 months, you get a brand new piece for free. After that, there is a shipping and handling charge, but 4 months, I know if I would go back to Macy's with something I bought, I don't think they're going to give me a new piece, a couple months down the road. So I love that they have that guarantee, that they don't ask necessarily, what happened to it, but you can get a new piece. Also, a lot of what I found is, in the past, I've had some customers that had sensitivity to different types of, metals. All of our jewelry is nickel free. We have a rhodium finish, which is in the platinum family. So as far as the jewelry, we use genuine stones. We have an amazing high quality jewelry, which I love. So that's a little bit about the product. Now, let's see. Now I want to, again, kind of stay on track here. The next is the programs. And this is probably the best part, and probably one of the reasons that so many of us, our businesses have been able to continue, because we have amazing programs for our hostesses, our customers, and for us as stylists. So the first thing I want to tell you about is our customer promotion. Now, some of you, as you're watching this, you might be like, I know all about this. I've been a customer. I've been a hostess. But for those of you that haven't yet, as far as our customer special goes, we have an everyday, 365 days a year special. Well, I shouldn't even call it a special, because it's really our everyday sale, if you will, is the first 2 pieces that you purchase are at full price. the next 4 are at half price. Excuse me, I had a little frog there. And what's great, and I have to say this a lot, sometimes I say it 2 and 3 times at my shows because it's crazy. The first 2 pieces that you purchase are your least expensive. Your next 4 can be your most expensive. Normally, that's not how that works when we're out doing our shopping, but that is what I love. You get a couple little cart starters, as we call them. You get some $20 earrings, and then you can get up to your $40, $50, $60 necklaces, bracelets, whatever it is, for half price. So love that everyday customer sale. And I will say, I have ladies that shop almost like every couple months, new jewelry comes out, whatever it might be. I'll talk a little bit about that. But it's definitely not just they buy it once and they're done. They love it. They love to get the sales. We also run, different bonuses and promotions throughout the months. So ladies love to jump on those as well. So the other thing, as far as what our customers love, is we have these style drops, where these are these extra special pieces that come out. They're not necessarily in the line yet, but you can get them. Usually how it works is you spend $40, you get style drops for 30, 40, whatever it might be. So there's always new jewelry coming out. We have the style drops. We have, some of you may know, we have our brand new line that is kicking off next week. About to say next year, it's next week already. So that'll be our spring line. So we are super psyched about that. Can't wait to get that. So I have people asking all the time, when's new jewelry coming out? When's new jewelry coming out? So it is next week. As far as for our hostesses, they have a very rich hostess program. I say we. Basically how that works is, for every order that, if you're just going to have a show, for every order that a customer places, you get $20 in free jewelry. If we get 5 people shopping, that's basically $100. However, if we get 10 orders, that 20 is doubled to 40, it's $400. And what I really love is, we're meeting women, I'm sure your friends, all different, all different places in their life as far as budgets, things like that. So I like the fact that I could have a friend, or, you can have a customer who maybe gets a $24 pair of earrings, and whether somebody spends $200, the hostess credit is the same. So I love the fact that people know that they can just get a pair of earrings, know that they're still supporting their hostess the same way. So I really do love that. Also, our hostesses get bonuses. They get half price items. So probably on average, I'd say close to $400 is, you get your 10 orders. That's $400 is what an average hostess would get, plus some of the half price items. Now, as far as, so that's our stylists. Now, I will also say they are extremely generous with us. As far as different things that I haven't really heard about before is we have 2 trips a year that you can earn. The next one is going to be announced next week. Apparently, they're telling us it could be, I don't know if it's European, but that's the rumor on the street, but we don't know. There's been Hawaii, there's been Cabo, there's all sorts of trips. And the one thing that I think is cool with those is Park Lane pays even for your airfare to get there. I know sometimes a lot of places, if you might earn trips, they might pay for your hotel and maybe some of your meals, but Park Lane pays for even your airfare. So whatever it is, I think that is just so cool. The other thing that I love as for the stylists is they give us an opportunity to win, or to earn, if you will, tons of free jewelry, over $1,000 in a month. But I like to even just focus on level 1, because I think that is so achievable. So basically, if you sell $1,000 in your first 2 weeks of the month, Park Lane gives you $250 in free jewelry. And you can do that every single month. So what I love is that is a way to build up your kit in your samples where you don't have to put any money out of your pocket. The other thing that they let you do, and this is different, and I know a lot of other direct sales companies have a different program, but they allow us as stylists to be a hostess every month. So I could grab a couple orders here, put the order in at the end of the month, And if I have 10 orders, I can also get the $400 in free jewelry to either add to my kit or to, add as my samples, give them as gifts, give them as prizes, whatever it might be. So I love the fact that they really are great with helping us not put money out of our pocket and earn that all the time. And there are other programs depending on how much more you sell and sponsoring and things like that. But I think that basic one is just amazing. So we have a great opportunity to get a lot of free jewelry. Let's see. So that is ours. Oh, the other thing I love is whether any of you out there have had any experience in other direct sales companies in like a leadership role. They have a direct appointment program, which I think was great. And I appreciated the fact that over the years in my former company, I was in a leadership role for many years, and they acknowledged that. So I was able to come in at a little bit of a higher rate or higher commission, which reminded me, I haven't even told you what the commission is and how much money that you can make in Park Lane. So you can make an average, or I'm sorry, to start between 30 and 50%. And 30 right out of the gate is pretty darn awesome that you can make 30% commission. And then after your first month, sell $1,000 and bring someone else on your team, you get an instant raise of 5%. So they have a lot of different opportunities. There's the Mercedes card program. There's a lot of different opportunities, but I would also say you can follow back up with your stylist who invited you, and you can get a little bit more information there. So as far as, okay, this all sounds great, I want to get started. How do I do that, Jackie? So typically, we have 3 different programs or 3 different sample packages. The most common one is the $229, where you get $1,000. I'm sorry, I just said that wrong. Yes, no, that is right. $1,000 of jewelry. You can get the basic kit, which is $99 for $500 of jewelry. Now I'm saying that, but what I want to tell you now, and I'm sure that's why some of you are going to be watching tonight or here, is the fact that there is a special that they've been running, and it does end tonight, where those amounts are doubled. So for $99, you can get $1,000 worth of jewelry. For $229, you can get $2,000 worth of jewelry, which is just incredible. This is the second time in only 2 years since I've been with Park Lane that they have run this special. So if you're thinking about it, my thought is one of 2 things. Yes. Because what I say to people, I am all about return on investment. That's my background. I'm in accounting. For $99, get $1,000 worth of jewelry. The investment is very low, and there's not a whole lot of risk there. If you want to be like, hey, I would love to have $2,000 worth of jewelry, great. But I love the fact that they are running this, includes your website. And on top of that, we have an incredible Team Sparkle, we call ourselves, and great leadership, a great group of women who are so supportive and encouraging. They're just amazing. And I love, sharing ideas, different trainings. I think someone may be jumping on. So what I want to do is like I had said, I know there's a group coming on at 9. So I'm going to tell you 2 things. One, down in the chat, I put a form that you want to fill out by tomorrow night. And that's the short little, quick survey. It's about a minute. And there's going to be a magic word on there that you need to know. And I'm going to tell you that word is promotion. Promotion is the word, because of this great promotion that Park Lane is running. So hello, and ladies, if you are jumping on for the party at 9, I will be 1 more second. I'm going to be jumping off on our necklace night tonight. So you fill that out, and you're going to be eligible to win a free necklace. You got to love that. So if you have any questions, definitely get back to the stylist who invited you. I hope I was able to answer some of the questions and tell you the great things with Park Lane. And I hope you all have a fabulous night. Take care. Bye-bye.